Okay, thank you guys so much for joining us today. We're here with Ben Basch, who's the Chief Development Officer of American Pool Enterprises. Ben, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, great to be here, John.
And you and I met years ago. And actually, it's funny because we've learned more about each other as we've gone. But we initially met, didn't know each other, kind of a cold call type of thing. We were looking for pool space, and you guys had some pools, and you actually were so kind to us. Immediately, what made a bond between you and I. You were able to help us in any way you could. You got us a pool, and we just always have appreciated since the day. I think that's got to be like over 20 something years ago. And
That's about right.
yeah, we just and so I always enjoyed it. And then a little while ago, you and I had met at a swim meet that we're both at, and we were talking. And one of my swimmers, Jason McCauley, actually swam at the same college that you did. You went to Ohio University, is that right?
Yeah, yep, exactly.
And I guess it was an absolute brutal program. And you and I both know that Jason was a little crazy in his training.
Yes.
So he even developed more of a reputation of that. So you guys were on the team at the same time, is that right?
Yep, that's exactly right. I think he was a sophomore when I was a freshman.
Okay, so you were pretty close in age and all. Yeah, and he was a tough swimmer. He was our when he was a senior, he was our captain of the team, and he was a tough guy.
He's tough. You know, we used to play water polo as part of our training. Outside of the main season, just to change it up. And yeah, he was aggressive.
Yeah. So today we're talking about a few things with Ben. Number one is we want to know a little bit about his swimming career and how he got involved with what he does today, which is working with American Pool Enterprises, and how he can help swimmers that are interested in working with their company, and they do a lot of lifeguarding services and even more. So we'll learn a little bit about that and how you might be able to if you're looking for a job in the summer, things like this, that you can connect with Ben and get that set. So let's talk swimming to start with, because we all love that. What got you started in swimming?
Growing up, we belonged to a swim club, and just a regular community club in Baltimore County, Maryland. And it was affordable for my family, recreation, and my parents loved it for us. And, unfortunately lost my dad at a young age, but my mom saw the value in continuing with the swim club membership because, we loved it so much. And she really saw the importance of all the community around it. And of course they had a swim team there. So kind of fell into it, got on the summer swim league, and pretty much that was it. So just,
and they have a lot of swimming down there, right?
Oh yeah. Central Maryland Swim League is really developed. The summer program is really developed. And, there's strong YMCA program, competitive programs in the wintertime as well. There's a lot of club teams out there.
Right. And, all through that Maryland, Virginia area, right? I think one of the biggest swimming areas in the world, if not the biggest, I think.
Right. And when you're there, you just think that's how it is everywhere. But, now I'm in New Jersey. New Jersey actually has a very strong developed swim programs as well. But, we do work in other parts of the country, and it's not all like that. So it's something that's really unique and special in the Mid-Atlantic, I think.
So what do you like most about, because your swimming took you kind of all over, right? There's a big part of your life. You and I both identify as we're swimmers, right? And you have that tough aspect of having kind of shared the same, and you got a great connection with other people that have had that because we shared the same experiences along the way. So where are some of the places that swimming took you?
I think moving from just doing summer league and then getting involved in the winter swim programs and new friendships and relationships through that. And my high school didn't have a swim team, so then I was continuing to work, do club swimming. So I was on a few different teams, but you build relationships and have different experiences through different club teams you work with. Certainly lifeguarding, that was something I had always aspired to do since I was growing up at a swim club. I wanted to be a lifeguard. I really looked up to those guys, and that really became my go-to summer job. And then, of course, going on and swimming at Ohio University on the varsity team there, being a college athlete. Yeah, that was a really valuable experience for me as well.
It's amazing the way swimming, the community of swimming, it's like a big family, everybody helping each other.
It truly is. And I think, whenever I run into a swimmer, somebody that swam competitively, I instantly know a lot about them. I mean, I don't know everything about them, but I know that there are some things that are just common.
Right,
that
some ideals, some values, right?
Exactly. Just really knowing that person has grit, knows how to power through something tough, but also knows how to have a good time. And, you just know what comes with somebody that's been in, competitive swimming, that it's really,
they didn't take like, the easy way out.
Yeah, no, it's like running into a relative. I mean, that's kind of how I look at it.
I have to admit the same thing. And I think the difference in ages doesn't make any difference, because if you're part of the community, we don't care if you're just starting out or if you set the world record. We're all one big family, and everybody's in it.
Absolutely. Maybe just in a little different piece of the timeline, but it's the same. Right. It's the same line.
Yep. That's what I found. The more that I interview people all over the world with this, is the more I see that the commonality between all of us. It's amazing to see the type of person that goes into that and stays in it. And great. So what were some of the sources of inspiration that you had? Maybe some people that you looked up to in the swimming world as you came along.
I look as a kid, Mark Spitz in the 70s. I mean,
I had his poster on my door.
He loomed so large in the swimming world, but he really transcended, swimming. I mean, he was, he was so well known everywhere. Wheaties boxes and posters, and everybody knew who Mark Spitz was because he, all of his accomplishments in the Olympics.
Right. And actually, his coach and my coach were the same person, the four-time Olympic coach. So I got actually a chance to meet Mark a few times, and all the other great swimmers that came out of Indiana. But it was a very interesting experience to meet him, because I always had him on my door. Standing there with just you remember the poster? You get the American swimsuit on, the 7 gold medals, right?
Right.
With the hands on the
right.
Exactly. So actually meeting him in person and things like that, it was very interesting to see that. But he was always one of mine, as well as Gary Hall. Some great athletes.
I mean, but that was, that's the hero. But then I also really, I think, just like being an age group swimmer and being at the swim club, I really looked up to the older kids on my team, and they were really inspiring to me. Just seeing how they were swimming and how fast they were going, and seeing the difference between some of the kids that got into winter sports, the winter swim program, then they'd come back in summer league and they would just kill it. And I was like, wow, how did they, you could really start to see the difference. So really the older kids, looking up to them and seeing how they were going. And my own sister and brother, I have an older sister and older brother who swam, and, just watching them and seeing how they were developing. So they were really inspiring to me as well. They both went on and swam at University of Delaware. And so, following behind them was definitely a big part of it.
Now, you had said something when we were talking a few years back about the program, and Jason McCauley had called me up and told me how brutal the training was at that place. And nowadays they're training differently and things like that. But I think you described to me, just make sure I still have that right. Did you do sometimes like one time 3-a-days or something like this.
Yep.
I thought you said that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was absolutely brutal. And I think the 3-a-days came over the winter break. And it was, I mean, they really just broke us down. My sister and brother swimming at University of Delaware, they would go on these training trips over winter break. They down in Florida, and that was the tradition. I thought that was amazing, and they worked really hard, but they were all tan, and I thought, man, that's college swimming. That's going to be awesome. Our coach really loved our facility at Ohio University, so much so we were not going anywhere. So we got to stay in snowy, freezing cold Ohio over the winter break. All the other students were gone. It was a total ghost town. I think it was us and the basketball team. And they just, you know, we were just punished.
Beat you to death in with no reward on that.
No. And then we'd go to a meet, you know, like an invitational or something after the winter break, and we'd be swimming against these teams, and all those other swimmers looked amazing. I mean, they were like bronze, gold, looking beautiful. I mean, we were all like, you know, we were all
no
beat
tan.
up and pale and pasty, and just it felt a little bit like a raw deal. But
and it is brutal too. I remember going out and we were training one time. I think we had gone to Hawaii, and we'd really gotten hit hard. And we came back from that. It was fun out there. It was a really nice trip. So I can't complain, especially with you guys having to stay where we were. But anyway, we went down to the international meet, and a few of us had made the international meet. And they were swimming along. And I'll never forget this guy, Tom Kane. Just a wonderful person. Everybody loved him on the team. And he's swimming, I think it was like the 400 IM. And he was so beaten down that they were announcing, and they finished the race, and they were announcing, saying, please clear the water. He said, please clear the water. And I said, what? Oh, after this man finishes, he was still on the other end.
Wow.
And he was a very fast swimmer, but he'd been beaten up so badly.
Yeah.
Right. So you can get hit pretty hard on those Christmas trips. So yeah. What's something in swimming that you feel most proud of that you went through that? Because you went through a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're looking in terms of like the competitive swimming career, or
yeah, in your competitive swimming career, what are you most proud of that you did?
When I made decided when I made the commitment that I was gonna swim at university, my senior year of high school was, you know, I was getting into all kinds of other stuff. You know, I was in like a band, and you know, I had a girlfriend, and all kinds of other stuff was going on. So swim practice and swim team, I was kind of like phoning it in for the most part. And then it was kind of like do or die. Are you going to swim in college or not? And, you know, to go to to make that commitment, but really not having trained the way I needed to show up at college. And I think when I got to the first practice and I saw the level of the swimmers, you know, guys like Jason and some of the others, you know, new guys coming on the team that were really serious about it, and they were just in great shape. And you know, I was like terrible. You know, I was kind of embarrassed, and I felt like quitting. I didn't feel like, you know, I mean, I had a lot of it was not a fun time for me, but I knew if I stuck with it, I could make it. And so I think powering through that, and there were other guys that were dropping at that time that when I started, they were better than me, or, you know, certainly in better shape than I was. But that I could kind of just grind through it, even though, you know, that's
quite
rough.
An accomplishment. When somebody said, when Jason called and said, hey, you know what, this is really rugged out here, I got to tell you, and then he told me about the program, and then you told me about the program. Like, wow,
yeah,
that's something. That's an interesting idea of how to train people. So
yeah.
So now tell us a little bit about, you know, American Pool Enterprises.
Yeah, so American Pool, we're the largest provider of commercial multifamily swimming pool management services in North America. So we provide turnkey pool programs for apartments and condos, swim clubs, where we can handle renovations, we handle maintenance if they're on a maintenance program, and then all the way up to a full, lifeguard staff to manage the facility.
So you're like
And
a full service organization. You can handle the whole thing.
yeah, pretty much anything that you would need in maintaining and operating a commercial swimming pool. And we say commercial, we mean multi-family use.
Like condo complexes, things like this, right? Swim clubs.
Exactly. We do military bases as well. So pretty much anything where there's multiple families that would use the facility that has to comply with the health authority, health code and those kind of regulations.
So how did they get so lucky to get somebody like you there?
Ah,
I'm serious. I mean, you're an incredible guy. So how did you get started there?
I got started with American Pool, believe it or not, as a lifeguard. So American Pool was my summer job, and I worked at for an apartment community. It was a multi-guard facility. They had a beautiful large swimming pool, this apartment complex, and American Pool had the contract to operate the pool. So I started working. That was my summer job every year, and that's where I started. Post college, when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do, while I was trying to figure out what I was going to do, I went back and I said, hey, are there any opportunities beyond just the seasonal work? Mm-hmm. So they put me in pool construction and renovation first. My parents were thrilled because they're like, you have college, what are you doing? Why is there a dump truck parked in front of our house? But things moved along. So that's really how I got started in the organization.
And you seem to always, every time I talk to you, you're so upbeat. You got like all kinds of stuff going, right? And it's amazing. I see the things that you put up on LinkedIn. They're always really interesting. Like you seem like to be very passionate about what you do. What do you love about your job?
I mean, there's a lot of different things I love about it, but working in an organization that is, I know we're at the forefront of the industry, and the fact that we're a learning organization, we're continuously learning and improving the safety of the facilities and trying to find ways to improve the enjoyment and the experience, not only just for the pool patrons, but also for our lifeguard team. All those things have to be, kept in mind to stay on top and advance and to lead. So I really love that aspect of it. Now with technology, even especially right now, while we're living in a bit of a social distant world, we really have to leverage technology and marry it with the operational experience and use that to further our service and find different ways to do things. So right now, that all that disruption from the current situation is forcing us to find new ways, and a lot of it is technology based. So that's really exciting. And
how many pools do you guys operate?
A normal season right now, we'll run over 2,000 community pools with lifeguards, and then there's thousands more in commercial maintenance. So like for instance, down in Florida, there's no lifeguard law down there, so you may run into a pool that has a lifeguard, but it's not required. Most of those, there's so many pools at complexes, probably not enough people to guard all those. Anyway,
so you then maintain the pools,
yeah,
things like that.
So we put them on a program, and we leverage technology and all that experience to make the most of the dollars that they spend with us. So to just effectively maintain those pools safely when you can't be there the same way that you can at a guarded pool, that you're there every hour of the operation. But there are a lot of pools that we support, and just through doing many visits through the week, but there's a lot of hours that we're not there. So then we rely on chemical automation technology and that kind of stuff.
And so why do so many people, because right, you're the biggest organization that does that, why do so many people come to American Pool versus going to maybe a smaller vendor or something like this? Why do they pick you?
I mean, we've been operating continuously since 1984, and we've been growing. I think the fact that we're known as the leaders, so I think that we've built the reputation for being the company that they can rely on the most, and the company that's going to adapt to new challenges. So even during this pandemic, there were a lot of curveballs for all of us in every, not just pools, and any business out there. There was, challenges, I'm sure, in your business as well.
Yep.
So I think when we can communicate a path to our clients and demonstrate that we've got this, or that we have a plan, or here's what we're going to do, and we demonstrate that leadership, I think that really solidifies our position in the industry.
That's for me. If I had a pool, for instance, that I was running like that, for me, I would definitely, because I know you, and I would have right. If I have any questions, I know that you're going to take care of it. And it's like you've got, I think the words you use, you've got them, right? You've got their back, you've got them covered, you're going to take care of it. And I know that about you, you personally, and I'm sure that you wouldn't be working in a company that's not like that, So I feel like people could get security, a feeling of security, that sometimes when you just hire a company, you don't really know what they're doing, and you're wondering, next thing you know, you get, like a bad fish or something,
right.
Throw it out. In your case, you guys are there and you back up what you say you do, and I think that's fantastic.
Well, it comes down to integrity, right? And building a reputation for having integrity. Right. And, I think a lot, bringing it back to swimming, I think that if you are a competitive swimmer, you're going to be successful with that. You've got to have integrity. You've got to go to the practices. You've got to show up. You have to be where you say you're going to be, for showing up for the meet or whatever it is. I mean, there's a level of discipline there that carries over into performance in business.
And American Pool, if I'm right, we had a question, is like, how can American Pool help our swimmers, our competitive swimmers? Why are we having you on the show? And what we thought, right, was a great thing, because a lot of swimmers love to lifeguard, and like you did, right? Mm-hmm. And I lifeguard, right? And they love to lifeguard, and they need to kind of a job that they can do while they're also training and things like this in the summer, like we did. And so our thought was, what about all those other kids that would want to work for a company where they have integrity, where they have good backing, where they have people that understand them like you do? And we said, you know what, if we put American Pool on there, and maybe the kids are looking for a job, right, the swimmers, maybe that's a great fit. So do you hire lifeguards? Is that right?
Yeah, of course. So to power those 2,000 facilities, we need we'll hire over 8,000 lifeguards in a season, and that number just keeps growing. Every pool we bring on, it could take 4 or 5 individuals to fill the schedule that's just for a single guard facility. But when you're running swim clubs, you may need 25 individuals that with a guard cert that to fill all the hours in the schedule. So
you might have 25 jobs open, right? That people, right, and you're trying to fill them with people that are responsible, right? And when you go to the swimming world, that's what you get.
Right. So a competitive swimmer, we know when they come in, we do a lot. Most of the lifeguards that work for us train with us. So we've built a team of lifeguard instructors, and we try and make the job as accessible as we can, so that people can apply, find their training with us, and go on and work with us. So we try and eliminate as many barriers as we can to get in the job. But we know when a competitive swimmer shows up for the training, they're going to be able to do the pre-test and tread the water and do that stuff.
And they're also good at following directions, right? Because they have to do that with their coaches. So these are really great people for you. And also you're a great home for them, right? And you got a good connection. That'd be great. So where are these pools located generally? Up and down the East Coast, you said?
Yeah. So we have operations pretty much from Massachusetts all the way down to Florida. Like I said, some of those markets rely less on guards. The market in Florida is primarily maintenance, but in Georgia, we have operation in Houston, Texas. We've got really strong Maryland, Virginia, New Jersey,
you guys
New
are
York.
really spreading out and growing. And so if there's not, if American Pool's not there yet, it might be soon, right?
We're aspiring to be everywhere. We continue to grow, and that's exciting as we build into new markets.
So I can tell the folks from my standpoint, I know Ben, and if I was having my daughter, work for someone, my son working for someone, Ben's a great person to and their company is a great company to work for. And it's if you like to lifeguard, and it's a great job. So how would they get a hold of you if they want to do that? What's the easiest way? I know we're going to be putting up something on our FM Fast Track. So you can get in there, you can go right over and connect with you guys to see if there's jobs available in their area. What else?
Yeah. So two things. If you want to know more about American Pool, AmericanPool.com is really that's more about the services we provide. That's positioned towards our, the apartment owners or the swim club board of directors and so on. But it does give you an idea of the scope of what we do. But in terms of coming in as a lifeguard, we cut through all that for our lifeguards. We have a website. It's guardforlife.com, and a whole brand that's just focused on connecting young people to the opportunities that we have. So guardforlife.com is, go there. It's easy to apply. There's parent resources on there to learn a little more about the job and interact with us. We've got, the training is on there that we're putting together for the coming season. That's there. And if for some reason you don't want to go to a desktop to apply, this year we made it even simpler. If you want to apply without even checking, you're already sold. You just want to come on and work for us. I don't want to even look at the website. If you text SWIM, SWIM, to 25000, you're going to get a text chat that will actually walk you through your application. So
what was that again? That was SWIM. Just type in SWIM, the word SWIM.
Yep. And then instead of texting it to a phone number, you're going to text it to 25000, and that kicks off the application process. So we got to meet our guards where they are, make it easy for them to connect with us and get rolling. That's a way that they feel really comfortable filling out the form. They just boom, hit it, and there they go.
If I'm right, I'm sharing right now. This is your Guard for Life website right here, right? And then there's even a personal helper there that you can.
Lucy,
right? This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Become a lifeguard, right? How to apply right there.
Yeah, it's all there. And we're in the process of upgrading this as well. Off season from the summer season, we have the opportunity to kind of rebuild things. So right now that site, as you see it might look different by the time if you're watching this, video recorded. The website might look a little bit different and refreshed, but all the content and information will be there. It'll be kept up to date with all the training that's coming up, and easy to apply right there.
And as a coach, if you've got swimmers and you want to build a relationship with American Pool, right? The coach can get connected in there maybe and say, hey, this is a great place to work. You can get connected maybe with the organization and start having jobs. That's a great thing for a team. having jobs for their swimmers that they know they're safe and they're being monitored, and they're having a great opportunity there. So like I said, we'll have that on our FM Fast Track tools. You'll be able to get in on a page. We're going to be building that. We'll be able to click in there and connect with American Pool as well, and get the kids some nice jobs.
For any of your coaches, if they want us to do something for their team or do a presentation, even if it's through Zoom, we can have our recruiters come on. I know, my daughter's swimming. It's one of the greatest joys of my life is to see my daughter now.
She swims on the Monmouth Barracudas, right?
Yeah, she's with Coach Paul at the Barracudas. He does an amazing job, and just keeping them engaged. So he's got stuff going on Zoom and different ways. They do great community outreach stuff and raise money for various things. It's a really strong community. But we can do a presentation 15, 20 minutes about the job opportunities. It's another way that a coach can connect to his or her team and bring that to them, and Q&A session or whatever.
And that way you know where your kids are and that they're being treated right.
And I invite them, if you're a swim coach and you're watching this, you want to reach out to me directly. It's bbash at americanpool.com, BBASCH at americanpool.com. If you're in competitive swimming, you're my kind of people. I'd love to hear from you.
Part of the family to start with.
Exactly. So I'd love to hear from you. And
Ben's easy to talk to. He's a lot of fun. So you probably meet a friend as you do it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ben, for coming on the show. It's always great to see you, and I'll be in touch soon.
Thanks so much, John. I really, really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun today.
Our pleasure.